Okay. Swear in.
Yes. Good morning, witness.
Good morning,
Are you a Christian or a Muslim?
Christian.
Do you wish to affirm or sworn by the Holy Bible?
I wish to affirm by the Bible.
To speak.
Please, witness, speak loud.
Yes, I wish to affirm by the Bible.
Do you have a Bible there?
I do not, unfortunately. I'm in a different location at the moment.
Okay. So you repeat after me. This is a Bible.
Okay.
I, your name,
Francesca Elizabeth Borney,
swear in the name of Almighty God.
swear in the name of Almighty God.
Speak up.
Okay, I, Francesca Elizabeth Volney, swear in the name of Almighty God
That the evidence I shall give
that the evidence that I shall give
in this case shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
My Lord, the witness was sworn on the Holy Bible.
Cancel. Cancel. Behind Adegbite, the two cancel behind Adegbite. Please, you can go out and have your discussion.
It's both. Please tell this audience for your name, occupation, and address. Witness.
Yes. Could you speak up a bit? It's difficult to hear you. Maybe I'll put some headphones on. Apologies. That might help. That, please.
Go ahead.
I'll ask the question again. Your name, occupation, and address.
My name is Francesca Elizabeth Volney. I am a clinical counselor, and my address 31 Corwin Green, NW9 7RB.
Thank you.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear what you said. So ask her to repeat herself.
My Lord did not give out. Take it. Hear me. It's both.
Sorry. It's a little bit muffled, but I think you're asking me to repeat what I said.
So I'd like to ask you a question. My Lord, to speak. I just want to confirm again.
The reception is really bad.
I'll try again. I'll try again.
Can you use a phone instead of a laptop? Sajid, are you connected?
Is
Yes,
Can you hear me clearly now?
I can, yes.
Thank you. My Lord, my apologies. Kindly tell on about your occupation.
I am a clinical counselor. My name is Francesca.
Your name first.
My name is Francesca Elizabeth Volney.
Your occupation.
I am a clinical counselor.
And your address.
31 Colwyn Green, NW9.
Take it one by one.
Okay. 31.
Yes.
Colwyn Green.
Can you spell that, please?
COLWYN.
Green, as in color green.
Color green, yes.
And what?
London.
Do you have a postcode?
Yes, NW9.
NW9, you said?
Yes. 7 R for Romeo, B for Bravo.
You said 7 R.
Yes.
And which country is this?
United Kingdom.
Ms. Vogt, to any witness for this case?
Sorry, repeat.
Did you swear to any witness in respect?
Yes, I have sworn a witness statement and oath.
If I show you the witness statement or no, would you be able to identify it?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's got my name on it, and yes.
Yes. Can you identify your signature?
Yes, that's my signature.
Is that it?
Yes.
Thank you. Hello, let's seek to tender the Ms. Volney.
Yes, sir.
Is dated. Sorry. 15th of December 2022, my lord. So, Ms. Volney, what would you like to do with the witness statement on oath?
I would like to submit this witness statement as my evidence for this hearing.
So, just a minute, I wanted to share with my learned friend just in case, so that we don't belabor the court. Ms. Volney.
Yes, sir.
Asha adopted it.
She wished to. She mentioned that. Ms. Vonnie, what would you like the witness statement on oath?
I want to adopt the witness statement as my evidence in this case.
Okay.
We're grateful. Ms. Vonnie, your witness statement, you refer to a marriage between yourself and late Mr. Kunle Fagbele.
Yes.
Come again.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. And was there that?
Yes, we do have a marriage certificate.
My Lord, we have 4 documents on the list. We're relying on 3 of them, particularly the first one is marriage certificate, my Lord. The second one, administration, and the third one, which is a copy of letter March.
Copy of what?
Of the dated March 2013. They are all listed in the list of documents to be relied on as 1, 2, 3. My Lord, I share. I've confirmed and is amenable to me tendering them as for the first time. Is objecting to the third.
So you have the marriage certificate, the letter of administration, and the copy of the employment letter.
Yes, my Lord. Fagbele.
We are not objecting to the marriage certificate and the of administration.
Paragraphs. Yes, that's the original, my Lord. That's the original, not the photocopy. The original marriage certificate. The letters of administration is also the original, my lord. Yes, my lord.
Well, my lord, I take the part of the claimant as they are reading now, but I don't know how they look like. I want to believe they are not objecting.
I've showed it to my learned friend.
I would like to look at the letter of administration again.
Copies of the front back of the bundles that we had front loaded earlier on.
My lord. My lord, my issue with this. That's why I said I can't say if it's an original or not, because this looks like a portion for the sale. Just like the other copy that was attached to it. Yes, and I saw the heading also says copies of this plan are not valid unless they get the first seal of the court. And I can't see any here.
The signature and the seal, and the signature is quite visible.
No, it's not the signature. I'm talking about the heading says copies are not valid except.
But it's not a copy, it's the original.
Sorry?
It's the original. And you had earlier indicated that you are not opposing.
It was because I looked at the copy I have. I thought this should be a question for you.
But I expect some level of candor.
Sorry?
So I expected some level of candor. I showed it to you earlier.
No, I'm not objecting to this.
You said you weren't objecting to both of them.
I'm sorry about that. So, my lord, the changes of the objection, I can't see a seal on this.
My lord, I seek to withdraw that particular document. We still have one more witness I can go and check just to ensure that I insisted on the original, and that was what was given to me. But my learned friend has raised the point, which I need to check. So, yeah, yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. We have a photocopy here. As we come, please, we are grateful, my lord. Yes, my lord. For now, my lord. I'm only tendering one more document, which is a copy of the letter of administration, letter of employment. Huh? Yeah, that's it. Yes, it's objected to. Yes, a certificate of it.
Lord, we are grateful.
Yes. My lord, the document is actually a computer-generated copy of the first page of the deceased letter of employment. A computer-generated copy of the first page of the deceased letter of employment. My lord, we filed and served the certificate of compliance pursuant to Section 84 of the Evidence Act. Also, my lord, this said document had been pleaded in paragraph 4 of our statement of fact. A notice to produce was also given to the defendant. Also, my lord, the defendant had admitted to the existence of the said document in their statement of their defense. In paragraph 4 of the statement of defense. So, my lord, it is pleaded it is relevant, and it is admissible. My Lord, the justice of this case also is also something that I need to speak to. You know, the deceased obviously have passed away. Difficult to lay hands on his documents. You know, his contrary was an untimely death. This is died untimely. It was unexpectedly, my Lord. With the effect that his documents were difficult to lay hands on by his wife, who is a witness, and his family. And the existence of the document is not in doubt. You know, and as admitted by the defense in their paragraph 4. All they are saying is he's the one that drafted it himself. We urge and plead that, my Lord, admit this document in the interest of justice.
Yes, my Lord. Our objection is dedicated. Firstly, let me point to the fact that we are not served with the certificate of compliance. I'm just seeing this for the first time this morning. We were only forwarded a copy of the document in the letter of employment.
When does this actually say? When does it say the house says the certificate? What do they say?
No, I don't even know what it takes on a certificate of compliance. So when it was started. Secondly, there was a notice to account arising from it. And we stated in our event, paragraph 4 that Clement County referred to. Because the notice to produce was for the signed employment letter between the parties. And we have stated that there was no executed contract or letter of employment. We have stated that there was no. The notice to produce was for the signed document, signed letter of employment. And we are confident in our paragraph 4 that letter of employment, there was no signed letter of employment in the past. In that aspect, my Lord, the letter, this certificate of compliance is not coming from the witness herself. And we are not sure about the propriety of that. Someone else opposing to a certificate of compliance on behalf of the witness. That is the basis of our question. And we invite the court to not to admit that document that evidence in this matter. And
Mr. God, please. We're very grateful, my Lord. Ms. Volney.
Yes, sir.
What would you like this honorable court to do for you?
I would like this honorable court to grant the reliefs sought as stated in my statement.
Thank you. My Lord, that will be all for the examination in chief.
Yes, sir.
what relationship, do you know the relationship between your late husband?
I'm sorry, could you speak up because it's muffled?
I said, do you know the relationship between your late husband and the other directors of the company?
What was the relationship between my late husband and the directors of the company? Well, they were work colleagues. They were also some level, they also had some level of friendship. I know that he spoke to them by telephone on many occasions, and I also know that they attended meetings on many occasions in Nigeria.
Ms. Volney, you would have to go slowly. My Lord is
Okay.
right
Apologies, Lord.
the pace. Thank you. Apologies, my Lord.
And also, they also had meetings in Nigeria on several occasions.
Yes. The copy of the unsigned letter of employment, which you said was given to your husband, how did you get a copy of it?
I got it within his documents at the house.
Oh, why you got it, the physical document, or you got it there on his email?
Sorry, repeat that.
My question was it a physical document or a document you got from his email?
I believe that this was printed from his folder of work documents.
I didn't get that.
I believe it was printed from his work folder.
The reason why I asked that was because the image that the document that was attached to your processing looked like a clocked image. That was why I asked if because yeah, electronic means or it was a physical copy. Oh, yes, I know.
I wouldn't know.
Do you have access to your late husband's email account?
I do not.
Are you aware that your husband has not paid for the shares allotted to him in the independent company doing incorporation?
I'm not his employer. I was not the one in the business with him.
We didn't expect you to know. Yes, that was the question. Yes, but she's not the employer. Are you aware that shareholders in companies generally are expected to pay up on the shares allotted to them as standard practice?
Am I aware that shareholders are expected to pay for their shareholdings?
Yes.
That's common knowledge.
Yes. Will it interest you if I inform you that your husband made no payments or has not, while in his lifetime, did not make any payment on the shares allotted to him? Will it surprise you?
Sorry, repeat that.
Okay, my question was, will it surprise you if I tell you that your late husband did not pay up on any of the shares allotted to him during the operation of the company?
Will it surprise me?
Yes, that was it.
I don't have an answer to your question because I don't know.
What document or proof do you have that your husband owns 10% of the shares of the company?
He told me when he negotiated with yourselves, he told me that this was also part of the negotiation. And I believe that
Ms.
in
Vo,
the,
you have to go slowly, please.
okay, he told me.
10% of the shares of the company.
Ms. Voni, my lord is talking to you.
Sorry, my lord, could you repeat that? I can't hear. I didn't hear anything that you said.
What document do you have that your husband owns 10% of the company?
It is, I don't have a personal document, but I know that because of what he said. And also it is in the contract, the employment contract.
You can have our phone.
No, I said my endorsement. So, Ms. Voni, do you have any proof that your late husband demanded for his salary while he was with the defendant?
All the time. Every time he tried to contact, I was either there or he would tell me.
How was he requesting for his salary? Because
I
we
know
do the email to that effect. Oh, okay. So my question Sorry, I'm trying to. There was no communication to the center requesting. Yes, my question was that there was no meeting communication from your husband requesting for the salary.
Would you like me to answer that?
Yes, yes. I'm saying that you have to communication.
I don't know about written communication. I know about spoken communication.
You said you don't want written communication, but involves what? I think that's that.
Sorry, there's an echo, so it's really hard to hear what you're saying. Repeat, please.
So I said you don't have a written communication, but you said you have something else.
No, I said that I do not have written communication, but I heard on some occasions.
Okay. Okay, she has like that. If your husband inform you about the financial picture of the company while he's alive.
Repeat, please.
If your husband at any point in time inform you of the financial status of the company.
Yes, I was aware of a lot of the financial involvement.
No. I'm not talking about financial involvement. I said financial status of the company.
No.
Are you aware that the company was operating at its loss while your husband was managing the company?
Am I aware that the company was operating?
At a loss.
No.
Are you familiar with chapter 1 limited?
Am I familiar with?
Chapter 1 limited.
Yes.
Are you aware that your husband set up chapter 1 limited to how do I couch it? To operate on the defendant's property without informing the other directors and shareholders of the company?
No.
Property without the knowledge and approval, consent of the other directors and the shareholders. She said she's not aware. Do you know who owns the property at 1 Ojologun, Victoria Island, Lagos?
Yes.
One Ojologun, Victoria Island. 1, yes, number 1. Oju Olobun, OJU, space OLOBUN. Victoria Island, Lagos, yes, my lord. He said yes. So who owns the property at number 1, Ojologun, Victoria Island, Lagos?
As far as I'm aware, it's the Ekiti State governorship.
As a couple. He said, as far as she's aware, it's the Ekiti State government. Okay, just to clarify that your last statement, you are right when you said Ekiti State government owns it, but they commissioned it to. She said Ekiti State, yes, Ekiti State government. She actually said governor, but I understand that it's government, but the governor does not own it. Just to clarify, Ekiti State government owned it and commissioned it to Fountain Holdings Limited. Why I am clarifying this? Yes, state government, yes, to Fountain Holdings Limited. Ekiti State government commissioned that property to Fountain Holdings Limited. Yes, Fountain Holdings, not the defendant. The defendant is Fountain Hydrocarbons. To Fountain Holdings Limited. It's a separate company, separate legal personality. And Fountain Holdings leased the property to the defendant. The term of the lease is for the defendant in this case to develop the property, and they were to split profit from it at a particular percentage. Yes, I am very sure you are aware of this explanation that I've given because we have communicated with you sometime after your late husband's death. I said, I'm sure you are aware of this position.
I am, yes.
If you agree that it was a development lease and it was not owned by the defendant, how can you say in paragraph 13 in the lease, yes, that the defendant do not own that property at 1 Ojologun? That property at 1 Ojologun, Victoria Island, Lagos.
Sorry, what is your question?
No, I've not asked the question. I'm trying to, the court is
Okay.
right. So I've not asked the question. And that the defendant, one, Ojolobu, Victoria Island, Lagos. How can you now say, this is the question now, in paragraph 13 of your statement on oath, that your husband expended large amounts of his personal fund, including the building of a hotel? So the question is, if it is a leasehold, it's not owned by the defendant, how can your husband, or how can you say in paragraph 13 of your witness statement on oath that your husband built an hotel which is still in operation? That is the question. If you know it is not owned by the defendant, how can your husband build a hotel on it?
I make the statement based on what I have seen, what I have heard, and what I know.
So based on what you have seen and what you are aware of, or what you know, and based on your statement, are you saying that the defendant, your husband, built an hotel for the defendant on the property?
I am saying what I have said in the statement, and I rely on what I have said in the statement based on what I have seen and what I know.
No. My question was, based on the explanations I've given, based on what is written in your statement on notes, what you are aware of, and what you have seen, are you still relying on your statement that your husband built an hotel that is still existing to this day for the defendant on the property?
Yes.
For the defendant on the property? And she responded by saying yes. My Lord asked if you said yes to that question.
Yes.
Will it interest you to know that after your husband's death, and because of the mismanagement while your husband was alive, Fountain Holdings Limited and the mismanagement that occurred during his lifetime, the board of Fountain Holdings Limited terminated the lease agreement with the defendant because the defendant could not meet up with the obligations under that lease agreement based on the mismanagement. Limited, yes, terminated the lease agreement. Yes, madam. because the defendant had not been meeting up with the terms of the development lease, particularly regarding profits. Regard to profit sharing. Are you aware of this termination?
No.
She said no, madam. Yes, the import of the implication of that termination is that Fountain Hydrocarbon, the defendant in this matter, lost all business opportunities on that property. And it was opportunity here. And all this were due to the mismanagement of funds and company accounts, company property by your husband, by your late husband.
Yes.
Yes, the question was, are you aware that the defendant have lost various business opportunities as a result of this termination?
No.
He said no, man. How much of your husband's personal funds were expended on the property at Ojologun?
I believe that it's in the statement.
Statement says that my husband expended large amount, paragraph 13, large amount, but there was no specific amount or quantifiable amount.
It should be within the region of $250,000. But yeah, it should be within that region.
But there is nothing to substantiate that claim, at least before us. He said $250,000.
Hmm.
And I asked that there is nothing to substantiate that claim for the Honorable Court. The 250,000 naira is just a speculative amount, right? I mean, 250,000 US dollars is just a speculative amount.
Quite a lot of money had been placed into this. I believe that my witness statement should have details on money that was spent.
No problem, Ms. Rowan. Can I go ahead? Are you familiar with Tito, your late husband's cousin?
Yes.
Tito. T-O. T-I-T-O. Yes. Are you aware that she works with Chapter 1 Limited
Yes.
on behalf of your husband?
Yes.
She said she's aware that Tito works for Chapter 1 Limited on behalf of her husband. So you are aware that your husband was running a parallel company against interest defendants.
That's not what I said.
No, I'm asking a question that, so you
No.
are aware that your husband was running a parallel company.
No.
He said no. Are you aware that Chapter 1 was occupying spaces, apartments in the property of 1 Ojuologun, Victoria Island, Lagos, and your husband was the one that put them in occupation? Occupying some apartments at 1 Ojuologun, Victoria Island, Lagos. And they were put there by your late husband.
Yes.
He said yes. Are you aware that Chapter 1 made no payment to the defendant for such occupation?
No.
He said no. Yes, for the occupation of the term. He said no. Do you know the nature of the business Chapter 1 was carrying on at 1 Ojuologun, Victoria Island, Lagos?
Yes.
He said yes. What kind of business were they carrying on at that time?
Chapter 1 was
Yes.
a hotel.
He said Chapter 1 was a hotel. And you are aware that maybe through Tito anyway, that they were having customers coming in and out within that period while your husband was alive?
I was aware through my deceased husband, and yes, through Tito.
Okay, she said she was aware through her deceased husband and through Tito. Are you aware that the other directors of the defendants and the shareholders and investors were not aware of Chapter 1's occupation of the premises while your husband was alive?
No.
Shareholders and investors of the defendants were not aware that Chapter 1 was occupying the premises during her late husband, occupying the premises while her late husband was alive. And she said no. Do you know the nature of work the defendant was carrying out at 1 Ojulobun, Victoria Island, Lagos? What was the defendant doing with the property at 1, apart from developing it, of course? What were they doing with the property at 1 Ojulobun, Victoria Island, Lagos?
There were a variety of things, which I believe that Fountain was completely aware of because they were in correspondence all the time.
No. My question was,
Too fast, okay.
my question was,
I'll answer your question. I'm answering your question. I'm saying that, yes, I was aware, and there were a variety of things that Fountain was aware of, and one of which was to help them to increase the financial value of the property. So he had to renovate the flats.
that's not my question.
Get tenants in.
Let me, that's not my question. Let me say repeat my question, then you can give your answer. So my question was, do you know the kind of business the defendant, that's Fountain Hydrocarbons Limited, was carrying out on the property at 1 Ojulobun, Victoria Island, Lagos, as at the time your husband was alive, managing?
Fountain Hydrocarbons were carrying out, yes, I was aware of a few things. They were carrying out a few and having conversations about a few things, one of which was oil, trying to get oil deals. That was the underhanded part of it. But then there were also conversations about renovation of the property, which is number 1 Ojulobun, and capitalizing on this.
Oh, was
But
what was
I
it?
can't hear anything.
Okay, so Milord is trying to record what she said, and she said, the court said, your response was that they were carrying out, or they intended to carry out oil deals.
That was one.
Yes, then you can continue.
The other was restoration of the premises.
Is that all?
No, that's not all. At the time, it was dilapidated. So there were talks about restoration of the premises to get the tenants out who were not paying, get new tenants in, repairing of the properties, increasing the value of the properties in 1 Ojulobun.
Is that what the court recorded? Is that what you said?
That's what I said, yes.
Okay. So, because my question, you still haven't answered. My question, because, we've gone through the issue of what was it called? How the defendant came into occupation and the development leaves and all that. My question was, which you somehow answered, but let me just clarify. The defendant were also putting tenants into the premises, yes or no?
Yes.
The defendants, the nature of the business, one of the nature of their business and property was to put in tenants into the property. Yes, at one Ojologu. Because that was what formed the basis of profit sharing with the head lessor. Yes. So if it is part of the defendant's business to put in tenants and recover money from them, defendant's business to put in tenants and recover rent from them. Yet your husband, your late husband, being aware of this, set up Chapter 1 Limited to do a similar business on the property. I said, so if it is part of the business of the defendant and your husband sets up another company to carry out that same object or that same type of business, will you not agree that your husband was setting up a parallel company to compete with the defendant?
That's not competition. That's in the spirit of the same negotiation to increase the value, to bring tenants in, whether they're long-term or short-term.
If you take it slowly. He said that is not competition, but
it's within the spirit of exactly the same business, which is to bring tenants in, whether long-term or short-term, to increase the value.
Carrying the same business to bring in income.
To increase the value of the property.
To increase the value of the property.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Said that is wasn't competition.
That's what I said.
Not here.
Okay, I'll repeat that. I was just saying that this is not competition. It is cooperation, working with the same intention to increase the value of the property. And all parties were aware.
To increase the value of the property. So this your answer will only be effective if Chapter 1 was paying rent for occupation of that space or those spaces. I'm sorry, madam. rent to the defendant for occupation of the premises. I'm asking a question.
What exactly is your question, sir?
Is this your answer? That your answer will be valid if Chapter 1 was paying rent or paid rent to the defendant for use and occupation of the premises.
So what is your question?
So my question is, it will only be valid if they are paying rent, yes or no, to Fountain Hydrocarbons, to the defendant. My question was, it will only make sense that there is a mutually beneficial relationship to increase the value of the property. If Chapter 1 is that was put in occupation by your late husband was paying rent for use and occupation to the defendant.
Well, yes, if that is what was agreed in terms of how the money should be paid, yes, but I don't know what the nitty-gritty was.
Yes, if that was what was agreed, but she doesn't know the nitty-gritty of the relationship. Sorry, Melo. You will recall in June 2018, you wrote to the defendant, to his counsel, asking for clarification on the relationship or lack of thereof between the defendant, your late husband, and Chapter 1 shareholders.
Yes.
You wrote to the defendant asking for clarification on the relationship or lack thereof between the defendant, your late husband, and shareholders of Chapter 1. Yes, or lack thereof between the defendant, her late husband, and Chapter 1. And she said yes. And do you recall that the defendant, to his counsel, responded that there is no leave or no agreement between the defendant and Chapter 1?
That was the response.
Yes, that was the response. Does this not point out that your husband, does this not point out to the fact that your husband was unilaterally carrying out decisions without informing the board members, the board of directors of the defendant?
No.
He said no. Ms. Boni, you stated that you were I'm trying to get your occupation.
Clinical therapist, mental health.
Counselor. What does that entail?
That means that I work in psychology and that I support people with mental health challenges.
Okay. I thought it had to do with something, I mean, legal works and all that. When I saw counselor. No, my lord, it was because I wanted to ask some questions regarding if she's aware that you can't put someone into an occupation of a corporate place without an agreement. Yes, I'm going ahead with the question. I just wanted to know her background. Sorry, my lord. Yes, he said something about giving support. Okay, you can speak for yourself. The court wants to know.
I work with mental health and psychology.
Okay. Said she works with mental health and psychology. So my question is, are you aware that even for corporate entities, you can't put in someone on, are you aware that even for corporate entities as well, that you can't put, are you aware, even for corporate entities, are you aware, even for corporate entities, you can't put someone in occupation of a property without a valid lease or agreement to that effect?
I am aware that it is possible to be in occupation of a property with a lease or without a lease, verbally or in writing.
Without either verbally or in writing. Yes. What is your husband's stake or position in chapter 1?
What was his position in chapter 1?
Or interest in chapter 1?
Well, he developed the idea. He paid for the restructuring of the property.
No. I said with chapter 1. Chapter 1, not.
Yes, that was chapter 1, the hotel.
Okay.
Yes, he paid for the restructuring. He paid for the furnishings. He paid for the pool. He created the entire entity.
Chapter 1.
Of chapter 1.
Okay. So technically, So technically, your late husband owned chapter 1.
He did not own chapter 1. Chapter 1 was within your premises and you were aware of it.
No. You said chapter 1. No, that it did not, that they were within the premises of the defendants. Hmm? I will tell you. Yes, he said that the husband, our late husband does not own chapter 1.
It's holy. The Lord is talking.
Sorry, I didn't hear that, my lord. Sorry. Could you repeat?
The Lord would like you to repeat your answer.
Sorry, you're cutting off. Say it again, please.
The court would like you to repeat your answer to the last question.
Okay, so I said that he did not own chapter 1. And everything he did was within the premises of Fountain. And the entire entity had been running for years. And they were aware of it.
How did you come to the conclusion that the defendants were aware of chapter 1 in occupation of the premises?
Well, that's because there were meetings in the premises. Sorry.
That chapter 1 was in occupation of the premises. Your response.
Shall I go ahead? That's because there were meetings in the premises and it was rather obvious what was going on there.
Okay, so this meeting that you said was going on within the premises, who were in attendance?
That would have been the deceased and whoever the shareholders were at the time.
Shareholders of who?
Of Fountain.
Fountain OB. I'm fine. Fountain like you haven't. Fountain like that, the defendant. Yes. Yes, this statement, are you saying it with facts, or you are speculating that was probably what happened?
So I know that there was at least one meeting that took place. I was not personally present, but I was told by the deceased about one of the meetings that took place on the premises.
And the shareholders of the defendant were in attendance.
Yes.
It's based on facts or speculation on your part. And she said she was informed by the deceased that there was a meeting on the premises, and shareholders of the defendant were in attendance. In that, your correspondence with, I think I will just, in your correspondence with the defendant in 2018, you had asked how flexible might the defendant be to enter negotiations with Chapter 1. Yes or no?
I don't recall, but if that's what is said in my letter, then that's what it is.
Let me read this.
Yes,
the
please.
question. Hypothetically, how flexible might found the FHC, that's the defendant, be if we were to enter negotiations? No. So is an email. No, it's an email. I said in a correspondence with the defendant in 2018. It's actually part of the documents we had concluded. I'm just objecting, if I may. If my brother wants to fetch, you can tender it. I'm not tending it. I'm not tending it. My lord, I had asked the defendant, the witness earlier about our correspondence with the defendant in 2018, and she agreed that there was no. The first question I asked when I was talking about the lease agreement relationship, it was based on that discussion in that 2018. So she is aware that there was a discussion. She had a discussion with the defendant in 2018. I think that should be like 4 or 5 questions ago. No, not that one, my lord. Okay. The question that led to are you saying the impact of speculation? Our employer Okay, so my lord, before all this question, I had asked a question about a discussion she had, and where she asked for relationship between the defendant, her late husband, and Chapter 1. Yes. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Yes. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. So, my lord, that correspondent, there is a series of questions he asked, about 4 or 5. So, is one of them that I'm asking in relation to that, because she has not denied that there was a correspondence in the dream. I just wanted to refresh her memory by reading the exact question. Well, my lord, my lord, is the okay, my lord, is the on our list of documents, the defendant list of documents is the second document, first claimant's in, sorry, the third one. So the defendant's email of 13th June. As public. My lord, anyway, before the court, we still be. When we get there, we pause it. Yes. What was oh sorry. Tito, your late husband's cousin, what was her role in chapter 1?
Tito was an assistant to the deceased.
She said Tito was an assistant to her late husband.
Sorry, say that.
The court would like to hear your response.
Yes, Tito was the assistant to my late husband.
So, assistant to my late husband.
And your late husband's role in chapter 1 was what?
He was a director.
I said your late husband's role in chapter 1 was what? She said, yes, in chapter 1. He said he was a director.
Did she already answered that?
No.
So she came up with that.
But I just want to know his particular, because if someone is your assistant.
It's also doesn't
So it's not. It was because. And she said he was the director in chapter 1.
He was the director
in chapter 1. My lord,
my lord, I'm very curious. I was asking a question. Where they are asked, are you aware that she works with chapter 1 of the latest one? When you asked whether she knew Tito, she said yes. Are you aware that she worked with chapter 1 of the husband? She said yes.
Yeah. So, but it doesn't know. It doesn't define a role. If someone is working, I'm just asking for a position there. He said he's an assistant to our late husband. What was the late husband's position if someone is assistant?
And he said, you know, he paid for the construction, he paid for he said everything.
My lord,
mindful of what you